Hi, thanks for joining me again. I would like to share with you one of my favorite things to make for Easter. This sugar egg is something that I remember from my childhood, and it really was one of my favorites. I think I held on to one for like 10 years, and my mother finally snuck it out of the house because it was crumbling apart. But I think they're really beautiful. They look kind of shimmery and crystallized because it is actually sugar. Really easy to do. So I encourage you to do it at home, and I'm just going to walk you through it here. So really simple to put together. Here I have just 1 cup of granulated sugar, just regular table sugar, and over here some warm water, about 1/4 of a cup. The reason I want it warm is it's going to help the color incorporate a little bit better. You can leave it white, but if you'd like to color it, you can certainly choose any color you like. Here I'm using an Americolor gel, and you see how strong that is, how it's staying together in the water. So I'm just going to whisk that until it's all broken up. And you can use any color you like. If you'd like pink, yellow, blue, green, whatever, some of everything, you can certainly choose whatever color you like. So now I'm just going to take 2 tablespoons out of here and put it right into the sugar. And using a glove on my hand because I don't want to get colored fingers, I'm just going to mix this up together. This is a really great step. The kids can help you do this. You just grind it up in your hands, and you really want to make sure it all gets incorporated. All right, all the way down in there, and it's going to feel like wet sand. Now, what I'm going to do, now that I have that all incorporated, I'm going to put it into my mold. So over here, you see these I made last night. I'll show you how to get there. So my nice wet sand feeling sugar, I'm just going to take all of this and dump it right here into my egg mold. And these come in a number of sizes. You can check them out on our website. So I'm just going to put this all in, and it's going to be hollow, so I don't necessarily have to fill it up. But what I'm going to do at this point is just pack it down with my hands. So I'm going to get the bottom first, and you can see it's kind of starting to come up the sides. And that's fine. Don't worry about it cracking right now. We can fill in all of that as we go. So I'm just going to get it all the way up the sides, kind of keep it the lip down there. Pack, pack, pack. This is the time you might want to go ahead and pick up your spoon. Okay, regular kitchen tablespoon is fine. Again, keeping that lip down. I'm just kind of shaping it to the side. Push, and you really want it compact. So really press that in there nice and firm, because if it's not compact, then it's going to be weak and it's going to fall apart. So just really pushing that in there. Okay, now let me show you how to get the hole. Now that we've got this, if it feels a little bit thick, like maybe you have too much sugar, you can always scrape that down. It's just really gentle strokes. It's really easy to get that out. I'll just set that over here in the other bowl. Now let me show you how easy it is to get the hole. You can go back and clean this up with a knife in a minute. But all I want to do, you can take a round cutter if you want to mark it perfectly, but you can just take your spoon and try to make the hole small, because what it is, it's like a little peephole to see the little bunny scene that we're going to put in there. Put little jelly beans and candy, jelly beans and bunnies and all kinds of chocolate things that you can find or make. Now see how easy that is to come out, and it really keeps its shape. Now all you got to do, you can take a sharp knife and straighten that up, or just kind of smash it down like this. Don't worry about too much about the edges, because that's going to fall out. Also, don't worry if you have like this kind of loose stuff hanging out in here. That's really easy to clean up once it's dry. Now, I made these last night. You just want to let it dry overnight. These are nice and firm after drying overnight, and then I can turn them out of the mold. Because I'm doing a 2-sided egg, I really like having 2 pieces, but certainly if you don't have 2 pieces, you can make one, let it dry, and then go back and make the second one as well. So I obviously had 2 sides to the egg, 1 back and 1 front, and the front obviously has the window to look in. Now what you want to make sure to do is put the seam in before you put the egg together, because once it's done, then you can't go back and fix it. All right, so you can see how firm this is. This is just solid sugar that's dried overnight. And I'm going to pick this up and go ahead and decorate my scene inside. Now, I have some royal icing here that I've colored a nice sky blue. And you notice with the royal icing, I do have a plastic cover as well as a slightly damp paper towel. And that helps keep it from drying out. So all I'm going to do, this is going to be my sky. You can also use it for a little bit of water if you have a little lake by your bunny in the scene. But I'm just going to take this and put it inside the egg where the sky is going to go. And if you want to, you can add clouds later. But it's only going to be about half of the scene, because the other part is going to be grass. So don't worry about this being too perfect. The sky has little ripples and things in it, so it almost looks more realistic that way. Try to go ahead and get it all the way up to the edges. That way when you look in the egg, in the little peephole, then you can see a full scene, and it's all gorgeous. And that's about as far as we need to go with that. Okay, so next what I'm going to do is start building my grass. Okay, so what I've got here is green. I actually have a tip 352 that has a bird beak, looks like a bird's beak on it. I'm going to remove this for just a second to get a nice little base to put my bunny in. Okay, I'm just going to use the coupler there and pipe it right down in there. All right, and then we're going to decorate on top of that. So what's going to happen, I have a little bunny here, and I made this one. He looks about half cute and half crazy, but that's okay, it's fun. You can use chocolate bunnies from the store if you would like, but you can also make them. Just depends on how far you want to go with it. So I just cut the sucker stick off there a little bit. It gives it a little something to anchor. Okay, so I'm going to stick him down in there, and his ears are going to help support him. Now what I'm going to do is put this tip back on and start making my grass. Okay, so I have a little mound here. What I'm going to do is start just building grass. Now with the tip, I have the bird's beak facing up and down. I'm just going to do little peaks. You want to make sure you cover all your background. You can go a little bit straight. You can do a little bit of ruffling for leaves. All right, I won't do that whole thing for you, but here I want to show you how to cover up the center. All right, and grass grows a little bit crazy here, so make sure you don't do too straight of a line. All right, and then we can start also putting in our jelly beans, because what's Easter without jelly beans, right? The bunny has to have some eggs. So I'll go ahead and grab a few jelly beans here. And you can just put those randomly in, and then we'll go back and cover up a few of these with some little grass in the front too, like they're hiding. So whatever color, if you're doing for a little girl and she likes pink jelly beans, then definitely put those in. All right, maybe some back here. Okay, now for covering up, all you do is the same thing. Bird's beak and a little pole, and then you can make it look like the jelly beans are hiding. You can make this really fun. Okay, just little strips of grass all over. I remember one time my mom made these. She was a cake decorator as well, a Wilton instructor. And she made one and put little pictures of my brothers and me on the faces of the bunny. I don't know if that was the one I kept for years and years and years, but it sure was one of my favorites. I'll never forget it. So if you want to do one with like several bunnies in there and pictures of the kids, I know they'd be excited to see that as well. All right, so you can just finish that scene up as much as you want to. And now comes the fun part. You can either do like a little cloud in here. I have white royal icing here as well. You don't have to do the clouds, but you can put little suns and birds up there if you want to. Maybe here's a little cloud here. Swirly swirl, swirly swirl. One last one over here. And I think we're ready to close it up. All right, so all I want to do, I'm ready to put my top on, and obviously it's going to fit right on top. I want to make a nice thick piece of royal icing all the way around the edge. And this doesn't have to be pretty, it can be a little zigzaggy. It's just glue and it's going to be all covered up. All around the edge. And at this point, don't wait, because the royal icing dries pretty quickly. And if it crusts over before you get the top on, then it's not going to stick. So just put that nicely right there. It's really going to stick well. Now, you think that's not so gorgeous, right? Do you want to peek in there real quick? There he is, the little bunny. Okay, so let's finish him off. Really, really easy to do. Here I've got a PME star tip number 8, just a nice pretty star tip, okay? And what I'm gonna do is do the sides first. And I'm just gonna do a shell type border here. Heather's showing you some of those in our tip uses, so you can certainly look at that. It's just a standard shell border. If you're not a skilled decorator, you know, little rope type thing or even little stars is fine here. You can put little candy pearls on that if you like. Just go all the way around. I think one time I took a strand of pearls and put it in the shell border right after I finished. That was really cute too. All right, so just finishing that off. And then you want to do the same thing around the window, because you want the window to be pretty too. And this is why I was saying don't worry about too much about it being rough edges. So I'm going to kind of put it at an angle, not sitting flat up on top, but at an angle so it kind of covers the window a little bit. All right, and again, just a shell border. You can change tips if you like. Turn this a little bit. You can do a snail trail here with like a round tip, that's fine as well. Whatever floats your boat. All right, so now we've got a nice pretty window. You can stop there if you like, but we can always add more. Okay, here I've got some roses that I made. These are gum paste, pre-made roses and leaves, and we're just gonna find some pretty places for those. So you can certainly put it up here on the top if you like. I think I'm gonna do that today, just right here on the front. And this is just gonna be a little bit of glue here. All right. Purple and pink. I'm going to give this to my little girl. All right. And then I can set some of the leaves in place if I want to. And you can switch to your green also here if you like. Get that flowing. All right, that way the white doesn't show as much. You can pipe here if you would like to, and you can also use some pre-made gum paste roses, whichever, or leaves, whichever is adequate for you. I'm going to put the gum paste leaf here. And I'll put another one over here. A little bit of glue. Leaf going in there. And then maybe another one up top here. Okay. You can always cover up the little seams with a little bit of royal icing there if you like. I think that's just gorgeous. And I think the kids are going to love it too. And you can do this any way you would like to. If you have little pre-made royal icing flowers, those are pretty on there. Little pearls look great. You can make it as intricate, as ornate, or as simple as you like. But I think making your own is a really special thing for Easter, and I know that the family will love it, especially the kids. So give it a try, and I hope you enjoy your Easter.